What's going on, Vault Dwellers? It's Top Rankin' Noob, and I'm back at it again with another helpful video for Fallout 76. And hey, if you guys want to check out some cool Fallout 76 gear, make sure you head on over to U4GM. I'm going to be putting a link down in the description along with a coupon code that's going to be saving you 5%. Today I'm going to be showing you my build for the two-shot explosive Gatling gun. Now technically this build should work for any heavy weapon aside from maybe the 40mm grenade launcher. So right now I got a base damage of 326, which is impressive enough all by itself. But we're going to add some perk cards to see if we can boost this up by quite a bit. Let's see what we got going on here. Now the first perk cards that I'm going to spend is going to be my Heavy Gunner perk cards. We got Heavy Gunner, Expert Heavy Gunner, and Master Heavy Gunner. If all of those are completely leveled up, I'm going to get an extra 60% damage off of this guy. Now not all heavy weapon perk cards are worth it, like Locked and Loaded for example. You can reload faster. It's just not how I choose to spend my perk points. I'd rather use those perk points on something like Traveling Pharmacist, which will reduce the weight of my chems by 90%, and I carry a lot of chems on me. Now when it comes to perception, none of these cards are really going to have a big impact on your heavy weapon damage, so I'm constantly changing these up on the moment. You know, I got Fortune Finder and Percepti Bobble, as well as that Panopictographics, just because I'm always hunting those things down, but for me it usually changes this up. Now Endurance on the other hand, I usually keep that about the same with Slow Metabolizer and Good Doggy. The ones I might change up is Rejuvenated and Dromedary. Rejuvenated is going to give me some extra health points and disease resistance as long as I'm well fed and well hydrated. But another one that I might try out is one called Fireproof. In case, like, I don't know if you've ever used an explosive weapon before, but if you get a little too close and personal, you have a tendency of blowing yourself up. So Fireproof will give you some extra explosive resistance, which may or may not prevent you from accidentally killing yourself. Charisma, again, nothing in there that's really going to affect your heavy weapon damage. It just depends on whether or not I'm part of a team. I do like Strange in Numbers because it's going to boost my mutations. And although I don't necessarily have the most mutations, I do got quite a bit. So any boost to that's going to really help out. So I find myself in a group a lot just so that I can take advantage of this particular perk. Aside from that, I find that Squad Maneuvers as well as Rad Sponge come in handy quite a bit. So I would say I keep those equipped like about 90% of the time whenever I'm in a group. Stabilized is one I'm not too sure how I feel about. It does give me 45% accuracy and ignores some of the armor. I'm testing it out right now. It seems alright. Nerd Rage, on the other hand, I do love Nerd Rage. Now at 20% below health, you're going to gain 20% more damage and get some damage resistance. So when you add all of that into the factor here, that's going to put our Gatling gun at, what is that, 625 damage per shot. Doing pretty well. I think we about doubled it so far, but we can do a little bit better. Let's go ahead and do Demolition Expert. This is a must-have for any explosive weapon. At level 5, it's going to do 100% more explosive damage. So that right there is going to put our damage at 939 damage per shot. And this guy throws out a lot of rounds, so that's pretty impressive. One thing I should have mentioned earlier is that I do have a prime receiver on this Gatling gun. So the prime receiver is also going to give me an extra boost on damage. Now when it comes to agility, I do things a little differently. I got Action Boy, which isn't different, but I just need that AP regeneration. Through Hiker to save me a little bit of carry weight, but Adrenaline, I do Adrenaline a little differently. I only do 1 point in Adrenaline. 1 point gets you a whole 6% damage. You got to spend another 4 perk points in order to get up to 10%. In my mind, it's really not worth the extra 4% damage, but you guys may feel differently. Of course, under luck, I gotta have starch genes. So if you're mutated at all, you gotta have starch genes along with class freak in order to reduce your negative effects. Serendipity is another cool one under luck because it's just going to reduce the odds of you taking damage. But when it comes to improving damage, you want Bloody Mess. So Bloody Mess is just going to give you a flat 15% extra damage on any weapon that you do. So when we add all of that together, that brings us over 1,000 damage per shot here. So we're at what? 1,080 damage per round. I think that warrants a test drive. You can see here I have no problem blasting through these epic crickets as well as these death claws. I'm usually about 2 to 3 shotting them. And, you know, I've gotten my 2-shot explosive shotgun to higher damage, but this thing shoots a lot more rounds. And, of course, it's got that prime receiver, so you got to test it out on some schorchedbeast. These little bastards had it coming. They're like giant freaking mosquitoes that just scream at you. So you can see here I have no problem killing them at all. It's a lot easier if they land, but that holds true for just about any weapon. And this is why I started testing out the accuracy for when they're flying around. What was the accuracy perk card? Stabilize. Like I said, I still don't know how I feel about it, but I'm testing it out. But basically, when it comes to these schorchedbeast, man, you can just plow right through them with this guy. I love the Gatling gun out of all the heavy weapons just because of the slow and steady firing rate. It just doesn't have a tendency of breaking nearly as fast as some of the other heavy weapons. So I tried out the 50 cal, for example, and although it's extremely fun to fire off, it just breaks every 10 seconds, it seems like. So you're constantly making those repairs. With this Gatling gun, I mean, with that slow fire steady rate, it almost never breaks on me. Rarely breaks on me. It still happens. Nonetheless, this was my 2-shot explosive Gatling gun build. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to smash that subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you guys would have done different. What do you think of my build? What would you do to improve my build? Let us know down in the comments. I always want to know your opinions. With that being said, we'll see you all next time.